Alright, so I just leveled this guy. It's Shadow. I leveled, it's an EK Shadow. And I'm trying to become a crit EK guy, crit EK Shadow. So far, um, so far I got all of the projectile speed nodes on the tree, so that's Ballistic Mastery here, um, Sniper, which is projectile speed and damage. This is projectile speed and damage. Um, and we also have piercing shots, so they pierce every once in a while, which is really nice because if you didn't have piercing shots, every single time you would shoot, it would just shoot like say you have like just a row of mobs here, it wouldn't get like behind them. Alright, so like it's good to have them pierce. So there's a couple of options. Like really I should have started Witch for the spell damage nodes, because I feel like spell damage is way superior to physical damage as far as like scaling the actual skill. The cool thing about leveling as Shadow is you get access to this really nifty little Soul Siphon here, which is 5 mana gained on kill and a crap ton of mana. The 5 mana gained on kill is really nice, especially in my current setup. I'm just experimenting right now with different setups. I was using a 4-link. I was using Ethereal Knives with added fire, faster proj. So this is like in the regular game and not in the beta. This is the standard. Like it's Ethereal Knives, faster proj, added fire, and either spell echo, or I've also been testing physical to lightning, which is actually really nice if you're a crit build. The shocks do a ton more damage than it would normally. I'm not running Herald of Thunder. I'm only running auras that are based on physical damage, which only include Hatred and Herald of Ash. Now the thing about Herald of Ash that you want to take note, if you ever wanted to level an EK character, is that Herald of Ash's secondary thing, which is ignites for overkill damage, does not work with spells. It only works with attacks. So by leveling this skill, it really does absolutely nothing for your DPS. It only increases the additional effect, which is the ignites for overkill damage, which does nothing. I wish it did something for spells. I really do, because I feel like it would be a lot stronger for spells, and it would promote use of this skill. I mean, it just feels like the second part of this Herald is completely nullified, and it's just a 15% buff on damage, which isn't bad considering it's only a 25% mana reserve. Like for instance, with haste, it's 31% added as extra cold damage, and this is good because it freezes. But with Herald of Ash, if you crit, it burns, so it's just a little bit of extra damage. You know, like it's always good to have that extra damage as far as just straight up damage. This is mainly for survivability. Like its secondary effect is survivability because it freezes and chills. So since I'm using Hatred, I've also experimented with Herald of Ice. Herald of Ice is really nice for crit builds because, especially crit builds that freeze, well, only crit builds that freeze, really, because the secondary effect is that it shatters enemies. Like, enemies shatter, and it does, like, AoE damage around the shatter. So let me go and show you guys how this works. Right now, ever since finding this, the thing about leveling with EK is you can't use like a 3-link and a +2. I only have a +1, which is this right here. It's +1 to Socketed Gems. That includes any gem. So I've been using it with EK, and you know, I've been experimenting with Spell Echo, and Faster Proj. I think this is the optimal 3-link, in my opinion, just because Faster Proj is way better on the beta. It increases my, it pretty much I can off-screen mobs with EK, and it's really nice. So other options are Culling Strike is really nice in the beta. There's no downside to running it. It's only increased damage. I also tried Slower Proj. Now, Slower Proj is completely, it's mainly for it changes your playstyle. Like, it changes your EK playstyle in, it makes you more of like a melee character, pretty much, but it gives you that more multiplier, which is really, really good. Like, the more multiplier, it actually does more damage. See, it's a 5k DPS as opposed to 4. So it does a lot more damage, but like the range is completely worthless. I've also been experimenting with Ice Bite since I'm using, like I'm just using Herald, or Hatred, and Clarity. There are a couple of options. You could try using, you could try doing, oh yeah, Arctic Armor is also is an option for any like skill that like you're standing for a while, like with Spell Echo, especially with Spell Echo, you're getting that benefit. Like they changed Arctic Armor to you only get the less physical damage taken, less fire damage taken when you're stationary. So yeah, but let's see. So like with a 6-link, there's a lot of options, but mainly you're gonna want to have added fire. Like the main ones are added fire, faster proj, which is this, spell echo, and if you can, like they added these new, like hypothermia is really nice if you're using spell echo. That's in my opinion, and especially if you're using Arctic Armor, because anytime that a mob is chilled, you get that 24% more damage multiplier. If they're not already chilled, only the second, like if you're using Spell Echo, only the second hit gains the benefit of more damage. And if you don't chill them, you get no benefit. So like you have to chill the enemy. Hypothermia is mainly good for like cold-based skills, and you can actually link up hypothermia with like something like Herald of Ice or maybe Hatred. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't tried that, but I just have a cast while damage taken shell. Like all these links are very temporary. I'm not at my high enough level. I'm only 56. I mean, Act 4, 56, but this is just my way of leveling. I just got this crappy like 4-link, but the 3-link is better because it's in a +1 item. So, and once I get my Katarina up to level, I think it's level 5 or whatever level, I'm gonna add increased crit chance for spells on this weapon here, and we're just gonna run with that for a little bit. So I've been testing Tempest Shield. Tempest Shield's really nice, especially if you have a high block chance shield. But yeah, I was originally, like I wasn't really planning on anything when I started this character. I just wanted to level with a physical spell or a physical attack, something physical. So I just figured I'd level through the physical, like the physical starting area here. Physical. Like this alone is a lot of physical damage to start. So like you could, you could play around with like physical claws and whatnot, but like I don't really have a good weapon because I mean, there's not a lot of training on the beta, and I don't really play. I don't have a lot of time to play as much as other people do, so which kind of sucks because I love this game and I literally can't get enough of it. But but yeah, with EK, it's better. You're better off leveling with like until you get like a spell echo or like added fire. I mean, it all depends. If you're leveling a witch, which I suggest that you do, you're gonna want to level with something like ball lightning or something just to get down here and get like the projectile speed, projectile damage. Instead of going over here and getting the life and the piercing shots, and I also got this Revenge of the Hunted, which is more physical damage. But the thing about the physical damage nodes, like this one right here, I mean, this is clearly an EK. This is artwork for EK. I mean, look at it. It looks like the EK microtransaction. But the thing is, this increased physical damage, I believe it's not as good as straight up spell damage, because spell damage increases the entire spell's damage. Like, it doesn't just increase the physical portion, it increases the, as far as I know, it increases the whole thing. But it increases all of the damage, including the physical and the elemental, because I mean, it's literally impossible to have a straight up physical like build. If you're a physical build in this game, you're always going to have some sort of elemental damage. Either healing wand, nice. Like through auras or through skill gems, like you know, added fire. All of that gets benefited from elemental damage and spell damage. So like if I were using added fire, it's fire support, but I mean it's attached to my spell. So pretty much spell damage nodes are better than the physical damage nodes, sadly. So I actually could have leveled through elemental damage, which is not the best way, but I do plan on getting these cast speed nodes. And they did buff like the nimbleness cluster here. They added a couple of things, movement speed and avoid interruption from stuns. And the other cast speed wheel that used to be here is now here, mental rapidity, and they added mana regen rate. But it's in a weird place. Like, it's if you want to go over the shoulder here, which I usually don't do. I usually cut through here if I were to, you know, because you have quick recovery here. You have Mind over Matter. You have a jewel socket here. So cutting through here is much more efficient, in my opinion, unless you were going to get, you know, some energy shield nodes here. Another option is to go Eldritch Battery and get all, like, you know, get Zealot's Oath, which is here, and just go with energy shield regen. But I feel like you lose a lot of benefit. I don't know. It's very controversial in the beta right now. But I'm at a point right now where like my mana is slightly sustainable, but I do still have to use a mana pot just for leveling purposes. Wow. But yeah, I feel like I clear pretty well. The old EK used to be a lot slower, and it used to be a lot less fun, in my opinion. But they changed the way EK works so that it does less damage per hit, but you cast a little bit faster. See, I'm like freezing everywhere. There's pretty much never a time where I'm either chilling or freezing. It's pretty nice. It's working out pretty well. The thing about leveling with EK is I feel like because, you know, whenever a new beta patch comes in and you know, a new wipe comes in, I want to do like a different build, obviously, but the thing about leveling in this game is you're going to want to have a build that levels quickly so that you can get to high level and be able to trade some things and get some wealth before you really start trying to, you know, get something else going. I mean, there are people who can do whatever build they want from the get-go, from the start, without any wealth or anything. And I don't, to be honest with you, it's hard to do. Like if you don't have, like if, say like Ziggy D made a video very recently on leveling with bow characters, and the way that it's pretty much a lot more difficult now than it used to be, because they got rid of, or they nerfed the physical damage vendor recipe, which means like if you were to trade a rustic sash, a rare rustic sash, and a blacksmith whetstone, and you know that vendor recipe, if you know about it, or just look it up on the wiki. They nerfed it so that it doesn't give the wicked prefix, so you don't get the standard, you know, like 70, I think it was 70% to 89% increased physical damage, which is not bad. Like it's really decent. They changed it so that now it only gives 60% or something really low, and I thought that was really interesting, and I didn't really enjoy the fact that, you know, they did that. So it's pretty much, if you want to level as like a claw build, or like a you know, any sort of physical weapon build, you're gonna want to be extremely lucky, or I don't know, have a friend who has some wealth or has some, you know, it's just really based on luck. And you know, if you don't have enough crit chance or whatnot, I mean, you just have to spend a lot more alterations. You have to spend a lot more time finding what you need to find. So pretty much, that's another thing. If you want to level as a physical build, EK is your best bet, because, you know, it's a spell. It levels as you leveled. It does more damage the more it levels. And since you're building physical, like that's what I did. I went for all the physical nodes. I wasn't sure if I was going to go claw or bow or what. You know, but another option is, you know, here's the claw nodes, which are really nice. They nerfed leech in this patch as well. But another option is to do spectral throw with a one-hander, or not a one-hander, a two-hander. But I tried that, and you know, it's also reliant on, you know, your luck and whatnot. So pretty much, if you want to, pretty much my tactic on getting to end game in these beta patches is to just go with a spell, and once you get enough, no, I'm not gonna fight ball, whatever. He's probably gonna chase me throughout this map. But you know, if you just, he's after me now. But yeah, as you can see, like with faster projectiles and all these projectile nodes, you're doing a lot of damage. You're getting a lot of range on the skill. Like we can just do a comparison of, like you can start leveling with EK from the get-go now. It's a level 1 skill. It's available at level 1. So like without faster proj, it's like a huge difference. It's like right here, but with faster proj, it's like all the way down there. And the fact that I have 30% pierce is really nice, because, or no, actually I have 40% because I went through this route. So yeah, like from here, I'll end the video pretty soon, but from here, I'm gonna get, I really want to get Doomcast very soon, obviously. I also want to get Heart and Soul, that's obvious. And even if I wasn't a mana build, like in one of Hegemony's videos, he did state that it's still an efficient route. 4, 4, and 8 in 3 nodes is actually very efficient, like even without using mana, even if you're just using Energy Shield. So I would get the power charge, spell damage per power charge, you know, quick recovery, come down here, go to Discipline and Training, Sanctity, and I'm not sure where to go from here. Like, there's nothing really that's just spell damage. Oh yeah, spell damage. I could get the spell damage here if I wanted to. Arcane Potency. Oh yeah, and EK is very reliant on auras. I mean, not so much super reliant, but it is, like, if you want, you know, they're too good to pass up. Like, Hatred's too good to pass up. Herald of Ash, I wish they changed it so that it affected spells too, like the secondary effect affected spells. But yeah, maybe next time I can go for a trap build because there's a lot of good trap nodes now. 15% chance to gain a power charge when your trap is triggered. Like, that's huge. Like, that's a huge chance. So, like, pretty much you're going to be maxed out power charges all the time with the traps. Also, you know, with Assassin's Mark as well. And it's just, as far as elemental spells versus physical spells, elemental spells are way easier to scale, just because I feel like there's more elemental damage on the tree than physical. You know, you have these new, like, dual, you know, fire and cold damage nodes. You have cold and lightning damage, and you have that increased mana regen. This has increased crit chance. I could go up here and get chance to shock if I were going to use physical to lightning, because another thing that I'm kind of iffy about, I'm not really sure if it's what's the truth and what's not. Like, with physical to lightning, this pretty much turns EK into a lightning skill, because 50% of your physical damage is converted to lightning damage. Now, if you use this and added fire, let's just take a look at this real quick. Let's link it all up here. Physical to lightning, added fire, and faster proj. Right. So we got it all linked up. We got our auras on. So here's our damage here. So now this is very interesting because I'm not really sure if Hatred. Well, let's test this, I guess. I think Hatred applies before physical to lightning. So you get that cold damage. Let's see. Yeah, the cold damage stays the same. So it does apply before, yeah, 207 to 311. 207 to 311. So that's another thing to think about. If you do want to level through elemental damage, you could, and you could benefit a lot from physical to lightning. And 20% of physical. So pretty much it's almost a 70% conversion to lightning damage, which is, you know, really interesting. But then you have to use things like conductivity, which reduces lightning resistance. It's actually a very viable thing, and you can use things like shock and stuff. So that might be an interesting thing to do. Also, with added fire, I don't think that changes if I get rid of physical to lightning, right? Yeah. So the conversion, like the added fire conversion, is before physical to lightning. So it's just an interesting thing. If you want a 5-link would be, if you wanted to use physical to lightning, it would be Spell Echo, Fizz to Lightning, EK, Faster Proj, and Added Fire, or Life Leech. So yeah, that's pretty much it. EK is a physical skill, and it's very interesting. It's very you can do a lot with EK. You can convert it to lightning. You can add fire. There's so many elements that are scaled with EK. Now, at the end, let's just identify these, and nothing too great. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you next. Oh yeah, another thing to just notice here is that if you do level EK through Shadow, if you do level a Shadow by using EK, the advantage that you have is you're going through Dexterity a lot. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get away, get away. Let me go back to town. So pretty much you're never going to be hurting for dexterity. Like I have 213 dexterity, 220 intelligence. So I'm pretty much set as far as like, stat requirements for these things. Another option is to level with Poison Arrow and get the entropy, damage over time, and even if you wanted to get corruption. That's another thing to test and see if like you might need to get some increased AOE, like blast radius and whatnot. But there are options. There's ways to level without any currency, and pretty much that's the thing that I did. I've just been using my passives and the gear that I've been able to acquire. I've been pretty lucky with this one. And my gear sucks, but this is pretty decent, I guess. I mean, it just has life and really crappy resists, but I mean, this is the beta. Like, it's a lot of fun, and I can't get enough of it, and I don't know what to do. I really have to, maybe concentrate on other things besides this game. But it's just the beta is very, very hard not to play. Like it's always there. There's always like a new patch coming out, and there's something new to. I've still been looking forward to testing other things like Flame Blast and Fire Trap with the Elemental Proliferation nerf and whatnot. So, but yeah, that's it for EK, and we're gonna try a couple of different things. We're gonna try Physical to Lightning, not Added Lightning, because Added Lightning you don't get as much benefit as you do Physical to Lightning, and also the mana multiplier is actually, let's just take a look at the tooltip here. So 455 to 685 lightning damage, but if we do this, the lightning damage is way less, but the physical damage is much more. It's very interesting. Okay. So anyway, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.